Hello there and welcome. I'm Kate in the nest, and as always, it's great to have you company. I hope you are well and ready to watch along, stitch along, knit along, whatever you're doing, and wherever that is in the world. I want to say, yeah, we're all here together, and I do want to do a shout out to my new subbies, all of those who have joined our Facebook kin group, and it's just an exciting time. And I suppose I'm going to start with just that reminder that as many people as I talk to online or in real life, um, our stitchy friends as we are, we share that love of making, and many times it doesn't matter what we're making, it's the joy of the process rather than the product. So I'm starting a new piece, and I had intended we always have intentions to make I bought Beck's from So Big Curated's big quilters workbook, and I had intended to make a smaller version of that. I have started with the idea of a cover and this beautiful piece of embroidery that I've oohed and ahed and just want a hero there. I love the contrast of this pinky reddy, and I have been using a little bit more red in my thread painting and recent pieces, so that's a step forward. And then I thought, oh, I will make separate pages and just play. And so I have been playing so much so that I'm just going to take this as a separate piece at the moment. So I'm not committing to what this work is, but it is a new piece, and I always talk about evolution, and we can always see where we're going and how we're going and what's next. So I change moods so many times, don't I? So this is what I call a very vintage piece so far, Textile Collage, with these are all vintage, in fact. I haven't got anything new on here, so I'm going to see if I can restrict myself to that. This is a beautiful piece of linen that I used in my story pouches, memory pouches for my workshop in Green Dawn, and there's another couple of workshops coming up for me in September there. I've got this little cup that my friend Missy gave me. Isn't that beautiful? I'm here holding my threads or trying to keep them contained. Missy's just shared recently. Her work is absolutely divine, and she shared her continuing progress on my pouch. So I suppose I've been channeling a little bit of Missy in my colours right at the moment. So that was from there. I used pieces of cutout. I really like the idea of these embroideries that stick out over the edge and are beautifully finished, and they can be an edge in themselves or feature on a work. Over here is I can only call it an exquisite piece of I think it was a collar, but I can't quite work it out. So I left that binding on there to celebrate that which it was. And then, of course, we are reusing it in a different way. You've seen this little piece of French braiding ribbon it's made out of, and I know quite a lot of us have these little medallion crochet doilies, which are beautiful because they're already this lovely beigey shade. So it's probably going to stay in this palette, and I'm up to I've invisibly stitched some of this down, and on this piece I was auditioning just up until I started. So my idea is I want to get this piece down and talk to you about this, and then we're going to start some stitching and embellishing. And for that, I've got my new favorite of the month, which is June. Oh no, so Do you know that's how my brain works? As I said that, I was thinking, when did I buy it? And I think I bought it in June, but June was last month. So that was a silly thing for me even to do because my brain just goes like that. I'm using that. I'm using for the invisible stitching. Beck swears by this, and I think in fact I got this in one of her courses. I haven't used it much, but now I'm yeah, really wanting to try out different threads. So Netlex, I think it is, and she uses it for quilting. So it's thin and easy to thread. A needle, and then of course some of 4-ply sock wool. That's as far as we've got. Okay, so let's do a little bit. Oh my gosh, I tried to. Oh, excuse me. Now I'm going to sniff as well. Where's my tissue? Sorry about that. Just talk amongst yourselves. So the idea is I wanted to get ahead, and one of these has, here it is. Yeah, it's a long piece of that cotton. And I've knotted it already, so I can just chat away with you. Yeah. So the idea is just to use tiny stitches on top, and then cover some acreage underneath. So you can see the needle is making a little hole there, but I do plan to work inside of this flower, so that's not a failure, but it is a flag to try it somewhere else. So what have I picked up? Oh, see. Does this happen to you? I imagine you out there just doing beautiful stitches, and it's a giggle along here, isn't it? So that was better. So never a failure, but it might work a little bit better if I just go on the edge. But who knows? I like fraying, and well, that's big as well. Really, I should be using that other thread, that other needle. But, I mean, talk about Kate thinking about. This could be your regular giggle hour. Oh my gosh. See, I didn't wear this for a while and I really wanted to, but it does. Could this be called suffering for my art? No, it's a ring and the, goodness me. You can admire the little petals. My eyes aren't good enough to find where that went in. So once again, the smallest things, but that's what, oh, there we go. Life happens. I'm going to try it once more, but I'm going to put it up here onto this finger, and hopefully that doesn't get, okay, needle, back to the story. Who knows what I was saying before? And, you know, that's the thing between friends, it doesn't matter. You can just pick up the conversation. So you can probably hear I am feeling gradually better. I didn't check the phone memory, and will you be able to see that enough? I really hope you can, because seeing my fingers too close up is also not good for your relaxation. So really, this is just saving me pinning, because this is a piece that I just want to take with me out to the TV and stitch away at night at, or in the car, or, you know, it's a nice size. I have to say thank you too to all of you who have taken the time to, and I know your time is precious, to comment about our new season of collaboration, the Bowerbirds. You're going to hear more about that soon, but not in this video. But it's really lovely. As I said in my announcement video, I got a little bit nervous, and I actually thought at one stage, just don't do it, Kate. But that wouldn't have been showing courage. And I believe in, first of all, being kind, and when we need to, we have to dig deep. So I didn't have to dig too deep because you're all lovely and kind. But I had, and I have to encourage my friends who said it was probably just the winter lurgy and that awful wind making me lose confidence. So here we go. It doesn't take long. Now, it's long on the back of the blanket, but this will be either, well, if it's a page in the book, there'll be another piece of fabric there. If it turns into something else, we'll line it or whatever. So I'm stitching with abandon. And I'm just going to leave that at this point, which is good because I've knotted it anyway. Because I will use a big overstitch over that, and I'm going to leave, it'll make you dizzy. I'm going to leave this up because I would like to embroider that flower, but I might end up tucking another flower in there, which is my style. So I tend to look holistically at the collage sometimes, and other times, it's just a random. So this is probably quite planned for me. Now I want to talk to you about this piece. I came across, almost makes me, I just have to pause and think of the hands that made. This is a little girl's dress, and it was ragged in most places, but the sleeve frills are intact, and this is a part of the frill off one of the sleeves, and it was layered. Now, I just would have dreamed of wearing something that I don't know whether it feels bumpy, a bit like seersucker, but it's out of organza. One of you may know more about fabrics than I, but it's got these little sprigs of flowers in this beautiful apricot colour, and I just felt that could be a hero. So I'm matching like a lace collar piece with another garment worn by someone from many years ago. So that piece I want to join to here, and I've got gold thread. I don't know whether I was intending to use that for this, but we may as well. Oh my goodness. So I've done a knot, and as many of you have told me, it's tricky to use gold thread, but worth it. I've actually ordered some off Amazon because I followed Kelly May's suggestion, and when that arrives I will share it with you because it's I can't remember the name, but I got these locally, but in her course she recommended a different one, so I will share that. But in the meantime, we will use what we have, and very much there's something about gold thread where you can celebrate the unraveling. So we might actually celebrate that and keep it out. So anyway, I won't go in. I was going to talk about princesses and all of that, but don't need to do that. Okay, let's come up here and catch the pin cushion. because it's gold and because I feel honoured to be stitching. Let's make these really visible. So just, what you want to call it, overcast stitch, or I don't know, it's just big stitches over the edge. And I'm sort of, in fact I should concentrate, go straight and then at an angle so they come out straight on the front. Yep, that's it. And they're already different sizes, different shapes, which I love. It's getting more knotted. So I'll try a technique. I'm not used to using it, but I love the effect. And I've doubled it so it stands out even more. Just wait until what I'm going to try next. Because I'm nearly out of gold. And I think that might be the last stitch. So there we are. Just a purposeful, curvy patching stitch to join these delicate frills to that beautiful linen. Okay, just have to remember when my needles go back. And there's one. What's this one got? Ah, is this my, no. Okay, drum roll. On this side, I've got this piece and this piece. I feel like this would be a little spot where I could try out some beading. And I have these two little bits. I don't know what I've shown you. I've gone crazy for beads. And in some of my other pieces, look, I've nearly used up all the gold. In fact, I didn't check very well if I've got, I didn't think about, oh, actually, maybe. Now, if you hear everything collapsing, oh, it didn't, but I've just been playing. Do you do this? It's just luscious to have beads. And a lot of these are decanted. I started off using really big needles. I like these ones because it's a mixture. And I'm copying Kelly, but it's not right yet. Kelly uses in the course that I'm doing, she uses shells, like scallop shells, to see the beads. And I love that idea. But I've only got a little starfish one. Oh, well, it's a flower, I think. No, a star. I don't know. And it's blue. But anyway, I can see that you can see them better. All right. And these have got really big holes compared to there. Was I talking faster because I was getting more nervous? Let's see. Oh, that's something else I need to tell you about. So I've done a knot and I've doubled, and this is that quilting thread, so it's very skinny. So I'm going to, I love those 3 bits there, and I can't do things very straight. So I'm just going to go up here, and it's not the end of the world at all if it doesn't work. And I know not to pull too tight now. So we'll just do a little stitch. And I didn't put fabric behind here because I sort of like the netting and the hint of the pink behind. Okay, I think this is the first public bead that I've ever stitched on. So look, it looks like those dots. There. Oh, no. I must be getting better because I'm fumbling and I'm laughing at myself instead of going, that is incompetent. Okay. You won't see that little ring in my films very much. Okay, now I've lost. Oh, isn't that great? Because they're stitched and these are pearls. All right. I'm going to space this out, but I won't be able to do it in a row. So just understand that I'm going to deviate. And I know I could go through them again. And in fact, now I've got a good needle, I could be pinning them down more strongly. But for the moment, I'm just so excited. Oh, no, I don't want to go back. I quite like the idea that there's holes and things. All right. Stitch. And another one. One up here. And it's so funny. Look, I just looked down and I thought, I'm sure I've told you and you would have noticed, I adore beads. I have had them my whole life, but up until this moment, I haven't been game. I did a beautiful course last year, but I've told you it took me 10 minutes to thread the needle and then I broke it. Now I dream of being, one of those wedding dress makers or a designer where you just spend half your life stitching on beads. So now I'm deliberately going all over the place because it's not meant to look like it was part of the pattern. It's enhancing, well, not enhancing, but being me. And now I've forgotten to do, oh, well, I'm not doing rows, am I? Where will we go? Into there. Oh, it's a bit close. Oh, chasing it round. It does make it easier on a little dish, though, I have to say. Last night I was just trying to go into that little square container. Let's go up there. Oh, here's a big one. Oh. We'll go over there. See, you probably know this, you get carried away just with the joy. And while I've got thread, I will go. Unrestrained. I think that's the only way I can use them. And then one more over here. For my fingers, who are all about texture and variety, that is just such a lovely feeling. So thank you for bearing with me as I've humoured myself. I should have ended that off more thoroughly, but I didn't. All right, so there we are. We have some flowers coming. This will be continued. I've got things I can do on here. The other thing that was that I've brought over is, and I imagine a lot of people do this, I think this is tatting on the edge of a tablecloth that I got somewhere that I, to bring it home, I chopped up the feature pieces, and then I made braid out of, well, I just tore around the edging, and I just think that in itself is a whole, oh, including the original baby pin, like that is a work of art in itself. There's a natural break there, so let's just do that. I love that so much, and that will go on many of my little pieces and even on maybe some of my letters. But I also thought it may add at some point, oh, excuse me for the sniffle, depending where I need more cream, just even the addition of that to there. I don't like putting things halfway, a third over or something. Anyway, that's just an idea that I am having. So let's look up close. There are the beads. We've got ribbon roses and the crochet. And then we've got this piece of embroidery that I'm going to work over, the background, and then this beautiful vintage little girl's dress. So there we are. That's Kate's new piece for today that I'm sharing. Oh, that I've got another, sorry, just before I go, I can't help myself. I've got this doily that I collected. Look at how worn it is and how, I think it was a tray cloth, but I love that little edging there, and I thought that pink, okay, see, I was going to say goodbye, but I can't quite. I want to gently harvest here. because I don't want that blue flower on this piece. But I'll leave it joined to the others. I have got my smaller scissors, but this isn't going to take long. Just ideas. I don't think I need the grass, and I may not need that leaf, but let's just have a look at this. So there's a different type of embroidery that could easily join my garden, and that's why I don't stitch things down. I really want to do some wool embroidery there, but maybe we could join there. See, it's starting to feel to me like it'll be I don't mind that at all. I'll leave joining to those flowers. Oh, so we've got different fabric onto the very delicate fabric there. And what was the other thing? Oh, where's this? Somewhere on this piece. In fact, I had originally thought could even line that, but no, maybe over here. Who knows? But see, just don't discard anything, because you never know when you can use it. All right, I think that's probably enough for this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope it was fun to keep my company. And if not, just have the giggles. Look at that. That could be a flower. Who knows where we'll finish. But thank you again. Just love your company. Hope you have a lovely time ahead. And I'll see you again soon in the nest. This is Kate. Bye for now.